everyone. So this is in fact a vlog, if you can already tell from the title, but I'm just filming it in like a different kind of way, so just go with it for now. Basically, the last few weeks have been pretty exciting. Towards the end of October, I actually had the chance to return to my favorite city, which, in case you haven't already guessed, is London. I went for 2 weeks just to celebrate my birthday and visit friends from school and do touristy things just like the good old days. And then a few weeks after I got back from London, I was on another plane over to Disneyland, California. This was as part of a work retreat with the company that I'm currently working part-time for. Now, honestly, the last month and a half or so has probably been like the most eventful that I've had in a while, as you can probably guess from the lack of vlogs within the last few months. So I thought that I would share some of the highlights with you. Now we'll start off with my 3,000-mile journey from Portland back over to London. A couple of days after I arrived, my birthday rolled around. So to celebrate the night before, we went out to a meal at Oaxaca, and I had a delicious vegan burrito and a mojito, which makes the perfect combination because the two words rhyme, you know, you get me. And then afterwards, my friend surprised me with a delicious vegan cake, which was so good. On the day of my birthday, we started off with some amazing vegan frozen yogurt and ice cream from this place called Eureka. It's located just off of Oxford Street, and I don't know how I had never noticed it before, but seriously, if you are vegan, or even if you're not vegan, I would seriously recommend checking out this place because they have so many flavors and they honestly don't really taste vegan. After the ice cream, we went to go experience the London Dungeon, which, yes, it is a major tourist attraction, but despite that, it was actually really fun, and I couldn't actually take any footage in there, or maybe I could, but I just didn't. But either way, if you are visiting London for the first time, or if you just haven't done it yet, then I would highly recommend it because it's really fun. And we ended the day with some pizza from this place called Ico, I think it's pronounced, just on Tottenham Court Road. Now I gotta be honest, this is not the best vegan pizza I've ever had in my life. It was a little bit soggy, but I think the ice cream from earlier in the day definitely made up for it. The rest of my trip basically consisted of going to some of my favorite nature-y parts in London, and also getting to experience some new scenery outside of the city. And of course, I did the normal touristy things as well because I secretly really enjoy doing touristy things.
It was your offense. I was so dependent, under your influence, over your excuses. It's your choice to lose it. But if it makes you happy, then I'll take my pride away. And in case you still wanted me, I'll let you have the final say.
Overall, it felt kind of weird to be back in London just as a visitor, but I really enjoyed my time there nonetheless, and it kind of felt like nothing had changed. And now I will go on to tell you about my Disney trip. So basically, the company that I work for makes up about over 50 people, and out of those 50 people, probably about 40 people went on the trip, which definitely is a lot, I will say, but it was all good because there were groups and whatnot, so we weren't just like a big herd running through the park. Now, we were only in Disneyland for 2 full days, but those 2 days seriously felt so much longer because of how much stuff we managed to fit in. On the first day, we started off at the California Adventure Park, and the very first ride that we started off with was the California Screamin' Roller Coaster. aka the biggest roller coaster in the park. And I don't normally do roller coasters at all, just in general, so at this point it's something that I can say that I did and will probably never do again. But I will say that some of my favorites from California Adventure, just in case you need some ride recommendations, were Soaring Around the World and the Grizzly River Run, I think it's called, which gets you soaking wet, but it's such a blast. And my least favorites were probably California Screamin' and Tower of Terror, if you couldn't tell by my face in the photo. And the first day ended with a beautiful water show set to the tune of classic Christmas songs, which was truly magical. The second day started off very early at about 7:30 a.m. and this was so that we could make it to the opening of the park by 8 o'clock a.m. so that we could hit the rides without having to wait in the really long lines, which kind of backfired because, let's be real, there's always going to be long lines at Disneyland no matter what. Now, one of the perks that came along with this trip, aside from like the trip itself, was actually that we got to have kind of a behind-the-scenes tour of the park. And I know, sadly, I couldn't take any video or pictures during this part, but basically it just kind of made Disney seem like a really cool place to work. They showed us like where all the cast members get their costumes and where they keep the floats for like the parades and whatnot. It was really, really cool. Then the rest of the day was pretty much your standard trip to Disneyland. We went on tons of rides, including Space Mountain, Indiana Jones, the Teacups. And despite waking up really early that day, I actually managed to make it until about 12:30 a.m. because something that I did not know is that they actually keep all the shops open until like 1 o'clock a.m. And there was definitely a lot of souvenirs to look at, so I definitely wanted to make the most out of the time that I had. Don't get me wrong, as soon as I got home the next day, I pretty much just slept, but the trip was so fun and really memorable nonetheless. And I think that's where I'll end this different style kind of vlog. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!